This is actually the third book of the series, Joe Abercrombie, Last Argument of Kings.
I'm basically a fan of a lot of licensed fiction. The first book is Dragons of Summer Flame, the fourth book in the Dragonlance Chronicles.
Started out with the Dragonlance series, and then my dad said, no, those aren't the real thing. That's not legit.
It is incredibly gritty. You know how there are no real heroes in the story. You don't know who to root for because everyone's sort of in shades of gray.
Tolkien is legit, so he brings out these old copies that he had.
This guy named Nine Fingers is really, really nice. He's great. He only has 9 fingers, obviously.
And the 3 books had The Fellowship, had The Two Towers, had The Return of the King, and I was in bed for about a week and a half.
You find out later on that he's a bit schizophrenic.
I always liked Aragorn with Strider.
Riesling is kind of an outcast, but an intelligent outcast, which is sometimes how I felt in high school when I got into this book.
Yeah, so it's like my nerd heritage coming out, right? So I used to play role-playing games, and I always used to play characters exactly like him.
And you like him so much, and you think he's going to be in so much trouble until his alter ego comes out, and you're like, oh my god, where did this guy come from? And he's incredibly violent berserker, and he's like, oh, cool.
And I liked his conflict, right? I mean, there was always, much later I understood the conflict behind him.
You know how you try to be a really nice person most of the time, but you know, what's the term? Kapag puno na ang salop, and you just can't take it anymore, like, okay, and you get really pissed.
He wanted to fulfill his destiny. At the same time, there's this fear of becoming something.
Tend to gravitate towards fantasy and sci-fi books as opposed to most biographies, unless they're biographies of famous people who have lives that I'll probably never experience.
So I'm normally a nice, jolly fellow, but if it reaches the point where I can't take it anymore, I get really pissed, then you know, all bets are off. And
I always resonated in the same way, that there's always a struggle between what we know we have to do and what we think we can do, and making the best of ourselves in that paradigm, right? That's what I always liked about it.
So that's why I like to read. I like to explore different worlds that I wouldn't normally be able to access in real life.
Hopefully I don't end up killing anyone, or well, it'd be nice to get some superpowers later on and some sorcery, but I guess that's why I like him too.